Hey, it's Pan from Dragon Ball GT, and you're watching the DenoxSeries. Yeah!
DenoxSeries Game Reviews, the Fireman Review for Super NES. Hello everyone, this is DenoxSeries speaking once again, and today I will be reviewing a very obscure, creative game that you probably never heard of before. Wahahaha! This place sure is filled with flames today. Have you lost control of your fire powers, Denox, that you unleashed back in 2010? No! This fire background behind us just is what I'm using for the theme of this game review called the Fireman for the Super Nintendo that came out in 1994. The Fireman, huh? What's so special about a game where you play as firefighters? Sounds unusual. Unusual indeed, my dark half. But this game is actually very challenging and a lot of fun. Also very unique, which I will tell you more on why it's that as we review this game, so can I review it now? Whatever, I will watch you to see how this fire game is, but don't be surprised if I pop out every once in a while. It's funny when DenoxX mentioned me unleashing my fire powers back in 2010 in a video I made called Denox New Flame Powers Reviewed in 2010. The Fireman game itself takes place in 2010 in New York City on Christmas Day. And crazy how technology only advanced a little bit in the last 20 years, close to when the game started development, I would imagine. This game was developed by Human Entertainment back in 1994, sadly a dead company today since it deceased way back in January of 2000. This game starts off with two firemen entering the building where it has been engulfed in flames. The name of the two heroes are Pete and Daniel. Their mission is to take out the MDL, which is a highly explosive new chemical that if ignited, it will destroy this entire building and a good chunk of New York City. You play as Pete in this game, who has the blue mustache with an unlimited supply of water hose on his back that he uses to take out fire. And there is Daniel, who uses the axe to wipe out the fire. Sometimes you can see that he just charges head on to the fire to take out with his axe, and never seems to get damaged by it for some reason. Daniel is also useful in unlocking doors, activating switches, and escorting civilians found to safety, and he does it all quick without any hesitation. So even though there are two firefighters here, there is no two-player co-op in this game, which is very weird for a game that looks like it should have had it. But nah, you are stuck with Pete with the water hose. There are a few ways you can take out the fire with Pete's water hose. The standard way, which is the upper spray, is pressing the white button that can take out most flames that are standing tall against you. You can set the direction of where the spray can go by pressing the L or R button. Press the B button for the downward spray, which will help you get rid of the small pack of frames on the floors. The small frames does not hurt you, but they do block your path quite a bit. You cannot get rid of the small frames with the upper spray. Press the X button to throw an extinguishing bomb to quickly get rid of all the surrounding flames, and to dodge the flames above, you can crawl and duck using the A button. Pretty much all the enemies in this game have something to do with fire and flames. You can see that each fire movements have different style and have different interesting personalities. This game is also pretty text heavy for a Super Nintendo game, and not being a JRPG. It is all because of the radio that they have to communicate with people from outside the building. It does add depth in the story of the progress that these two firemen has to face and endure during their journey within the building. You can choose if you want to put out all the fire in each stage, because at the end of each level they will tell you exactly what is the percentage of the fire that you put out. This is really nice if you choose to be a completionist. It can be fun taking out all the fire in very different unique ways that you can do so as well. The only way to restore your character's health is by rescuing injured civilians, and there are only one or two of them on each floors and levels. So you really need to be careful out there not to get hit too often. Also, there is a limit of only 3 continues in this game, so if you do manage to beat this game, it sure feels satisfying. The difficulty of this game is quite well balanced, and it is not insanely hard that it seems impossible to pass each level, but at the same time, this game really makes you think on your toes and be aware of all your surroundings of how to react to each and every situation with the fire that you may come across. There are some boss battles that you really cannot afford to get hit a lot, and you need to know what are the enemy's patterns so you know how you would dodge. The 2D graphics of this game is very well detailed for a Super NES title, and you can tell that the developers pay really close attention to detail on each of the flames and background that you may come across. Each floor as you go through looks very different from the last with very few similarities, so it feels like you are actually in a building. There are a limited amount of music played in this game. Last I checked, there is only 14 songs in total according to the YouTube playlist that I found. But regardless of that, I find the music quite catchy and matches the theme of the situation you are in, where the building is being engulfed in flames. What a disappointment! I wanted more music! To conclude this review, I find this game quite unique and very creative. You play as a fireman spraying water all over the area trying to take out the flames. The challenge comes down to how you plan to spray the water depending on the situation, since the flames themselves that you deal with have different behavior and personality. The goal of this game is to make it to the very top of the building and destroy the large water tank that will extinguish the rest of the flames in this entire building. It's a shame that this game never came out in the US markets, but it did came out in Europe on May 1995, so at least we were able to enjoy this game with pure English text. The only other game that is quite similar to this game is a game called The Ignition Factor for the Super Nintendo that came out in the US markets on January of 1995. It was even re-released on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Consoles as well. The Ignition Factor, as I see so far, takes on a more realistic approach and art style, but in my eyes, it does not look as great as the Fireman. Oh, I prefer this over the Fireman any day! Wahahaha! And when I played it too, it does not have the depth and the controls good enough like the Fireman does. It feels pretty slow and laggy compared to it, but it is pretty similar to that game. I have not beaten the game yet, but I certainly am looking forward to completing this whenever I have the time. This game can get quite difficult that I end up using save states a lot. The bosses may become a pain to beat and take some time to eliminate them, but when you do, it feels quite satisfying. There is also a sequel to this game that I have yet to check out called The Fireman 2 for the Sony PlayStation 1. This game came out on December 22nd, 1995. Just a little over a year after the first game came out on September 1994. So to sum up this review, I give The Fireman for the Super NES a 9 out of 10. If you like to experience something new in a 2D action-based game that makes you think on your toes on what to do in each situation and strategize for your next move, then you will really enjoy this game. It's very unique and the creators did a great job on making this game both very fun and challenging. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you want to see more from me, click a video on the left side of the screen. We also have DenoxSeries merchandise available on my Team Public link below if you want to own t-shirts like this you see on your right. Also be sure to join my DenoxSeries Discord server to connect with people into gaming, tech, anime, and related. Hope to see you there.